This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, March the 12th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. And before I forget it, don't forget that this evening, overnight tonight, we spring forward as the start of daylight saving time is once again going on for 2016. And that means we need to set our clocks forward 1 hour overnight tonight so that we'll be on time for everything Sunday morning. The weather map features, of course, this wet weather that we've been watching for the last several days over the lower Mississippi River Valley, with a number of flash flood watches and warnings and flood advisories going on over that way. That closed low in the upper atmosphere that has been responsible for pumping all this Pacific and Gulf moisture into the lower Mississippi River Valley is finally beginning to edge out. But you'll notice that right behind it, over approaching the Four Corners area, is another bit of a trough that will become a closed low. And as that one enters the picture, the one coming out of Texas is actually going to kick out but also weaken, and that's good for keeping the rain manageable over the eastern part of the country. Temperatures across the United States are actually pretty nice this morning. We do still have some coldish weather up across New England, where much of New England is below freezing, but not too many other spots in the country below freezing. And in Alabama, we're actually quite warm, with temperatures this morning and as they were yesterday morning on the order of about 20 degrees above our typical averages for this time of year. Typically, we ought to be seeing lows around 43, and instead we're in the lower 60s. So again, temperatures about 20 degrees higher than we normally see this time of year. The radar is somewhat clearer than it has been over the last several days, and I'm sure the people in Arkansas, Louisiana, East Texas, and Mississippi are happy for that. But we do still have some moisture coming our way, and of course that is responsible for some flash flood warnings, those burgundy areas you see, and then the green are flash flood watches, as well as the brighter green being flood warnings over the lower Mississippi River Valley. Precip-wise, the quantitative precipitation forecast, the QPF, indicates that while we are going to see some wet weather over the next 5 days, the rainfall should be quite manageable for Alabama. Storm Prediction Center for day one, that's today into early Sunday morning, is expecting thunderstorms over the lower Mississippi River Valley. Day two, we have a slight risk as that second upper system moves in, and so we have a slight risk over Arkansas, the northwestern quadrant of Mississippi, the northern part of Louisiana, and a little sliver of southeast Oklahoma, and a little sliver of eastern or northeastern Texas. And on day three, the marginal risk is the only thing being outlined, and that is over Virginia and North Carolina. All right, let's get to the 06Z GFS model run, and here comes the double-barreled low upper trough situation, closed lows. We've got the one coming out of Texas, and right behind that this afternoon by 18Z, we should see that closed low coming in around the Four Corners area. In the meantime, at the surface, we'll be seeing rain over the area, but you notice we don't really have a real strong surface low with this system. So I think the rain will not be as heavy as we've seen in the past few days to our west. And it will continue to be warm. But we've got to keep in mind that precipitable water values are quite high. As a matter of fact, values are approaching 2 inches over the southeastern United States. And that means, or those values actually, are a good 200% higher than what we typically see for this time of year. For Sunday, the first closed low is coming out across the Ohio River Valley, while the second closed low is digging in. That first closed low weakening substantially. And as it does, of course, we'll still see some shower possibility, and a surface low develops with that second upper closed low over the Red River Valley, north central Texas, and south central Oklahoma. The closed low begins to open up on Monday as it comes across the southeastern United States, and while we may see some showers, it doesn't look like it's any kind of widespread rain as the moisture values drop back considerably. By Tuesday, we're beginning to finally see a bit of a shift in the pattern. we're getting rid of the big ridge in the eastern part of the United States, and we're beginning to develop more of a trophiness. As you can see, the closed low coming through Iowa, that's the main system, and that will be responsible for a very deep closed low, at least a closed 983 contour there, that will be developing over Iowa. And for us over the southeastern U.S., our precipitable water values are quite good. They're low. They're back to where we would normally expect to see things this time of year. Wednesday, that closed low is really developing as it gets into the Great Lakes, and now you can see the trophiness developing over the eastern half of the country. But on Wednesday, we will probably be somewhat dry across the area. However, with moisture and the warmth, we may see an isolated shower or two. And by the way, Tuesday, the day before this, is going to be one of the warmest days we've seen so far this year. The trophiness continues to evolve for Thursday and again on Friday, so that keeps us basically back to what is more typical for this time of year, with highs in the 60s and lows in the 40s. And then by the time we get to Saturday, we see that we do have a nice bit of a short wave moving through the Ohio River Valley and inching across the Tennessee River Valley, and that may actually bring some moisture with it and perhaps provide enough lift for some showers, especially just to our north. But we'll wait and see on that. That's verging in voodoo country. And looking out into voodoo country, yep, you guessed it, the pattern stays pretty progressive. But the interesting part is we also maintain this trophiness over the eastern part of the country. So while we've been seeing temperatures quite above normal or above the 30-year averages, it looks like for week 2, we should see temperatures close to or just slightly below our 30-year averages. And then around the 26th, 27th, this map is actually for the 27th, but you can see the trough, the active trough coming into the Carolinas there. So it looks like we should have another wet round of weather around the 25th, 26th kind of time frame. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. I'll have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning, at least by about 8 a.m. or so. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.